all my life, I wanted to come and cover, be in a country which kind of gives me a challenge. I wanted to see what it is like to be in South Sudan and what the media is like, especially after independence, because I was here to cover the independence celebrations. That is last year. When I was contacted, Southern Eye, for example, has been a paper from 2005, and I've known it, and I've known the owners, because.
From where did you know them from? I mean, did you get the newspapers in Uganda? Or?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
And so I knew it. Southern Eye existed. So when they contacted me and told me the paper was closed down and we want you to go to Juba and reestablish everything and work from there. There's a team already. Just go and head the team. We want someone who is professional, who is a professional journalist, because before the problem is that they didn't have someone who studied journalism and works professionally for a paper like Southern Eye. So they told me, I said fine, I think it's a good opportunity to come and check out this place and even further my career, because here it's very easy for you to actually tap in on international stories than it is in Uganda. Yeah, and the media landscape here is quite young. You can make your mark here and you can get the stories here. In Uganda you can get them, yes, but so many things are established. As a young journalist, you may have to take so much time. Yet here, you may take the same time, but you'll be exposed and experiencing so many things, international agencies, international reporters, and it's easier to get to places here. It's easier to get to the powers that be, the ministries. There's no bureaucracy like so much like it is in Uganda, and yeah, that's the reason why I said, okay, I think I should go to South Sudan. One, you know it, and I also know it, that it's a young country, it's a new nation, and the media in a new nation, of course, will not be as free as, a country which has survived ages. Yes, because a country which has a background of instability, you realize that they need to keep, information is part of security. So those two weave in somewhere. So you have to know where they weave in. You have to know that line. Information is an important thing here in South Sudan, because oftentimes I move around to see where my vendors have put the papers, to even just check on who buys the papers, which locals. I can even go on a newsstand and be there and just see what decisions does someone, what influences someone to buy a paper. They read, and I've realized one thing, that the newspapers play a great role in these people's lives, because they want to know what is happening elsewhere in other states, because as you realize that in states like Jonglei, Upper Nile State, where there's still some instabilities, these newspapers keep reporting what's happening there. And for example, here in Juba, the capital, it seems like all information is flowing in from everywhere, coming to this place. So newspapers basically have a role to play, and people buy them for that. And then the other thing is that because many businesses are setting up here, construction, so many things, hospitals, small businesses, corporate companies, they need to advertise, and this is a good young market. So they also need the papers too. Some of them buy the papers because they want to see which companies have tenders, where are the bids. Yeah, some of that information can only be good through newspapers, because most of the maybe businessmen, I can say, are not ever online. Some organizations like the UN even put their bids online, their tenders online, but the locals won't see them, yet they may have the capability to supply the things. So the papers basically do that. Of course, the main competitors are there. For example, ours is a weekly paper. And
also a weekly paper?
Yes, it's a weekly paper. And there's a daily paper here. And there are like 5 or 6 other weekly papers, which are all printed in English. And also Arabic papers. So basically, They are our main competitors, and even other magazines, because they're competitors in terms of advertisements, then in terms of getting stories. For a weekly paper, you can break a story and be the leader here, saying people want you because you break stories, you do investigative stuff. But if you only have one daily paper, you may think you're going to break it on Monday and it comes out on Sunday before you actually come out. And you see, to get the readership here, you have to have opinions of people who are trusted here. When they speak, someone listens, someone trusts their information, they have good research, they have their articles are not just thrown here and there. They're built up really with good facts, and when you read them, you appreciate. Yeah, most like here in Juba, we don't have large scale color printing.
Yeah, exactly.
So most papers print from Khartoum and Kampala and Nairobi. So it's just that you have to do everything here. Then just for the printing, because if you want to be out on Monday, then you have to make sure that the printing is done in time. And that's a major challenge, actually. Not so many South Sudanese people have embraced writing and expressing their views. As time goes on, they'll pick up, and they are now realizing what the media means. And we want to be that media where people can get their ideas through. But now, me as a professional journalist, what I'd consider good journalism is responsible reporting, and of course you gotta be fair in your stories. You have to get both sides of the story, and the stories must be in public interest, and of course they should not have selfish interests, especially those which are carried by different ideologies. I believe that's good journalism, one which is neutral and objective. But again, it's very rare. The subject of objectivity in my head and understanding is that you can never achieve objectivity 100%. Investigative journalism, if you're a professional, it can be good journalism because you're fighting for maybe the people, maybe you want information to be out there so that they know it. You're fighting corruption, impunity, whatever it is, that can be good. But again, how are you getting your information? Sometimes it can bring you problems because sometimes you have to tap things here and there. Investigation, it's funny. You may do unethical things.